Games suck now, and I think gaming as a whole has finally failed in my own personal opinion. And let me start off by saying this first. There are still good games out there, and not every single game is trash, but games as a whole right now, at least for the big titles, are all L's. If you were to tell 10-year-old me in like 2012 or something that a new Battlefield, Call of Duty, and Halo would all come out in the same year, and all three would suck to the point where no one cares about the games, I would have told you that you were lying, but here we are in 2022. Of course, we do have Battlefield 2042 that I have not touched at all. The only thing I've touched on the game was back in the beta, and thankfully, I think I made the right choice not picking the game up, because instead of actually working on the game and fixing the game, it just seems like EA is blaming the poor reception of the game on anyone else besides themselves. And then for Halo is easily the most solid game out of the bunch that has really fun fundamentals and gameplay, but 343 haven't touched the game in months and haven't added any new meaningful content. Literally none. No new map or anything, just some incredibly boring game modes and new store bundles. And the game already launched with a poor amount of content, so it gets pretty stale and pretty boring pretty quickly playing the same 4 maps for 6 months in a row now. And then for Call of Duty Vanguard, as always, the game came out brokenly buggy and incredibly boring, and has Modern Warfare 2019 aspects that literally everyone hates, like the horrible spawn systems, the doors, the way too high time to kill, and the mind-numbing skill-based matchmaking. The game is also still buggy as well currently, and while we have been getting some content for the game, the problem is that no one cares about that content, and the content is incredibly boring, and said content is getting delayed by weeks to months to still come out broken and meaningless. For example, we will wait, I think they delayed it 2 weeks for Season 2. When it came out, the season was still incredibly buggy, there were still incredibly broken aspects to the game, and the season was so incredibly meaningless that if you play Vanguard, you probably couldn't tell me what they added in Season 2 at all. Not even one single thing. And it's really just a mess over there with Sledgehammer, and I won't lie, I will stick with this. In my opinion, I do really like the fundamentals and gameplay that can be had in Vanguard, but also with that, everything else in the game sucks. And honestly, the most redeeming aspect of Call of Duty Vanguard is ranked play, which, while I do love my Call of Duty competitive, the league play system should not be the only redeemable aspect of any COD ever. It should just be an addition to. And the fact that it is the only redeemable aspect of Vanguard is a problem. And while yes, these are the main 3 titles that always come out that are always going to be hugely popular, other games are also in similar states to these big games because these huge developers have an influence on other smaller devs, which gives those smaller devs the idea that it's okay to release a game half done and progressively fix it over time, or release a game that is not player friendly in the slightest. And of course, I'm not talking about every game that has come out recently. There are still games out there that have that traditional style of game where you just pay for the game itself and you just have a really fun time, and maybe you can buy a skin or two in the shop to support the devs instead of a game that you pay for that basically just gives you access to the in-game store because that's where all the fun content actually is. Really though, it's just annoying that these huge games that a lot of us used to love back in the day are just dust and echoes of their former selves and are only looking to make a buck off you. I would love to be able to hop on Vanguard and enjoy it like BO2 or another COD, then hop over to Halo Infinite and enjoy it like I did Halo 3, and then occasionally get on Battlefield 2042 for a casual fun time with no problems, just shoot and listen to music, but unfortunately, I can't do that at all. My gaming endeavors currently have really only been playing Forza Horizon 5 and LEGO Star Wars. Those really are the only games I can have a really good time on that don't feel like a chore to play. And while yes, I still play Vanguard every now and then with friends and ranked play, I don't touch multiplayer really at all anymore. The atomic grind is incredibly tedious and boring, and while I can easily sink in the time and get the camo in a couple of weeks, I really don't want to because the game's life is already halfway over and the game is already pretty dead, and with the release of Modern Warfare 2022 later this year, they are basically going to be resetting COD with everything and just starting from scratch, so that atomic skin will mean literally nothing in a couple months because I won't ever be able to use it in Warzone 2, and I will maybe go back to play Vanguard 1 or 2 times once the game's life is over. I'm not sure though. I just personally feel that games are incredibly ass right now, and that might be because I'm simply growing up, but I also don't feel like that's the problem because I can still have really fun on certain games. Let me know though in the comments if you feel the same in any regard to me and what you think the problem with games are right now. If you did enjoy the video though, make sure not to leave without leaving a like and subscribing for more, but until next time, see ya.